Hey guys, J77 here doing another video game music review, and the video game that I'm going to be talking about as well as the music is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is the third installment. It also has another title called The Last Escape. Depending on which country you either have The Last Escape or Resident Evil Nemesis or Biohazard 3 Nemesis. It varies, but I'm going to go by the American title, which is NRE3 Nemesis. So here we go. Now, as I last left, I love the first two Resident Evil games. They were scary, they were fun to play, they were very difficult. You really had to use your head and think hard. There was even times where I really was not sure where the game was actually heading. I have had both endings, all endings from all the games that I have played. Not really a big fan of the Rebecca character in the first one, but I played it nonetheless, and it was still loads of fun. And that was the first one. The second one, it was a two-disc game. You played, depending on which way you go, that's what the ending you get. I played it as Cheryl, and then I played it as Leon, and I pretty much liked that ending better. And then I played Leon, and then I played Cheryl, and the ending was pretty good as well. That game really got me on the edge of my seat. It was very, very difficult, and I actually simply loved the music. I thought out of all three games, that was the best score that I had. I even liked the rock and roll ending theme at the end of the game. Now let's go to 3. Now 3 is what's considered a sequel and a prequel. I say a prequel because it takes place before Leon and Claire actually got into town. They was not there yet. Everything is going to hell. There's a massive break. The virus has spread in the city, caused everybody to turn into zombies and attack civilians. Everybody's trying to escape, and here we have Jill Valentine, no longer a raccoon police officer, but yet is trying to escape the carnage. That is why it has actually gotten also the name The Last Escape, because she's trying to escape Raccoon City. And she is going through the towns as always. We still see the precinct before Leon and company have came in there. And we're getting a little bit more backstory as to how powerful Umbrella was and who was involved. That's including the mayor, who was basically hiding out and everything else. We also get the mercenaries who really, some knew what's going on, and others is just trying to help out as much as possible, and not realizing that the people who they work for is actually the reason why all this stuff is happening. It goes by a time setting. The first half is actually a prequel, but once Jill Valentine gets infected by the T virus, you now play a character of a mercenary who is looking for the cure, in which he goes into the hospital. And that's when you now go to the sequel part, because now all that stuff that's happened has already took place. Leon and company are already in the city, but you never cross paths. This is basically Jill Valentine's story. We're getting a very good story, to say the least. It's a mercenary survival game. It's actually, you're trying to survive, you're trying to get out of town, you're trying to find a way into town by solving puzzles and escaping one of the head star hunters, who is basically has a bazooka or rocket launcher embedded to his arm, basically trying to kill you. And throughout that time, that is pretty much your main enemy, at least until depending on what direction you go to the game. As the game, because I'm going to get to the music in a minute, but I want to get to the game a little bit. I'm going to say I like playing this game, but I didn't have much thrill playing it as I did the first two. And the reason why is I wasn't scared. I wasn't, really feeling this game would scare me. I liked the gameplay. I liked the story. But it was like it wasn't the same as the other two Resident Evils I have played. It was more like it was a mercenary game. That's basically what it was. It was just me trying to survive, me trying to get out of town, me trying to solve puzzles. But make no mistake about it, the Resident Evil that I played wasn't really here in this game. I did not jump scare. I did not have not one jump scare in the game, and I just wasn't really scared. I was just it was basically just a typical mercenary game, and it was played like a mercenary game. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It is actually pretty good. I actually love the mercenary mission at the end of the game, because once you beat the game, you get a special mercenary board where you basically have a time limit, and you got to get to point A to point B. And depending on how much points you get, you can actually earn other stuff. So when you go back to play the game, you probably have an infinite rail gun. You probably have an infinite rocket launcher, stuff that makes the game more quicker. Other than that, I just think it's not special. It's not something that I hold as regard as one of the best Resident Evil games that they made. I don't consider it as one of the worst either. I just think it's a good game. That's pretty much what it is. It's a good game that you can play every now and then, but it's not something I will go back all the time. Like, I can play the first two Resident Evils and not even better than I absolutely love the first two Resident Evils, and I will never get tired of playing those. I will always love playing those, and it still holds the quality that I actually enjoyed. I'm talking about the original PlayStation version. I'm not talking about the remakes that they made for for GameCube, or even for the other consoles for that matter. I'm talking about the original PlayStation PS1 version that I love to play, because it was something about the dialogue was crappy. No one really talks like that in real life, but it was still a fun, scary, you gotta think on your feet kind of game. And I love games like that. So, but in terms of this one, it was good, but it didn't have a staying power with me as much as the other two did. Now, as for the music, it was okay. The music was alright. I liked the score. But just as it, I liked the score for the game. It's not something I will recommend you go out and buy, especially with the expense that video game soundtracks are. It's not something worth going out and getting. It's just a good score for the game at that particular time. I liked it at the beginning of the score. I liked it how they actually match well with what's going on. But other than that, I can't really tell you that there's anything else memorable about the score except for the very last part of the game. It's not something that pops out that, yeah, I gotta get this because it has this, and that. It's just have a few good scores, and that's pretty much it. That's all I can tell you. Just got a pretty good score. Does it hurt the game? Not necessarily, because there were also some quiet periods which actually worked it better. There was actually some stages where you didn't really need the music to feel the effects of the game. You actually the graphics on RE3 actually were pretty damn good, and it had a feeling that you were really in the alleyway, that you was really walking around near a hospital area. So I really did enjoy the fact there was no music there, and just allowed its uncertainty to really sink in. Other than that, the game is good. I'm not saying it's bad. I wouldn't give it a high rating. If I gotta go through what I call the 1 to 10 scale, it's a 7 out of 10. 3 stars at the max. As for the video game music, I'm gonna give it 2.5. It's something that, okay, is there, but nothing really special about it. So that's my feeling on the video game review concept. Have you played Resident Evil 3 when it was around? Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? Let me know. Until then, this is J77 saying take it easy.